is the Abby Normal Podcast, here to tell you that you're weird and that's normal.
VM is all-encompassing. Voicemails, voice memos, vagina monologues. It's the shit that, like, we weren't intentionally recording.
Right.
Annie and I are chilling in the front yard in the year of social D. Cars and bikes are whizzing by us, and I've asked Annie to tell me about a recent family reconnection.
Right. So I met my grandfather for the first time when I was 16 years old, and it was at the funeral of my great-grandfather, his father-in-law. At that funeral is also where I met my father for the first time. And like I said, I was 16. I was angry at the world. I was angry at my mom. I was angry at myself. I was angry at everything. And I wore a lot of eyeliner. Black eyeliner so people knew that I was angry. So it was a very interesting time. My father and I didn't connect so much. My grandfather and I did. We kept in touch a lot longer than my father and I did. But then about 10 years ago, we went dark. I moved to it was honestly probably mostly my fault. I moved to a new city. I was in my early 20s. And basically to my old life, I was like, goodbye. But my grandfather got back in touch after he heard that I reached out to my father. Because I was just like, oh, cool, you're still alive. That's nice. And when my grandfather found out that I reconnected with my father, he immediately got my number from my dad and called me. And then 2 weeks later bought a plane ticket and came out and visited me. Surprise. Coronavirus be damned. His justification was that the planes are going to be cleaner now than they ever will ever again.
True, but it was kind of a big deal that he's, 78?
Yes.
And decided to fly across the country to see you.
Yes. And his, again, justification for that was planes are cleaner now than they're ever going to be, and also... And also that he's scared he's going to die and wanted to make sure he got to see me beforehand, which I get. Irresponsible, but I get it. Maybe not the best decision, but I'm glad he did come. We had a wonderful visit. I picked him up from the airport, and then we drove 4 hours to Fresno, where I'm from and where he's from. We visited family on his side that I hadn't really connected with very much before. And then we went up to my cabin, and then we came back to the Bay Area, and I got to show him a little bit of my life here. So,
What'd you like about him?
He's a cool guy. I don't super align with all of his political views, because, mind you, he's a 78-year-old white man. But he's also cool. He's a musician. He's a jazz musician. He's a jazz drummer. He knows, everything there is to know about jazz music. So it's super interesting hearing him talk about it. He got to play for Fats Domino when he was, a teenager. So we got to back him, which is, really cool. And just, he's seen a bunch of cool people live. He lived in New York for decades, New York City. And I guess one of his, best friends lived the floor below Lou Reed. And he said that Lou Reed was a super annoying neighbor. But it's just, weird stuff like that you don't... Yeah. Just, he's a great storyteller, and that was what I liked. And he really seems to, give all the shits about me.
That's, making me cry. But what, do you feel like you were able to be yourself around him?
I was. Like I said, we don't necessarily politically align on everything, and I was able to be vocal about that, and he didn't get weird about it.
What were some things that you talked about?
Well, he voted for Trump, and he voted for him solely based on the economic prospects that he offered. So yeah, that's something we vastly disagreed on.
Well, you could talk about it.
Yeah, we could talk about it, and we did talk about it. So
It's good.
basically, I screamed at him about it.
Good.
He didn't take it bad. He understands where I'm coming from. He understands the situation that we're in now. Like, but other than that, like, I don't know. I've never been super. I've never been super tight with my family, so it's been really cool to connect on that level.
So how do you want to keep the relationship going?
Well, he came out to visit, and he fell madly in love with my dog. And so he wants my dog and I to come visit. So we are, depending on what the world looks like in a couple months, we are going to drive across the country, California to Virginia, to go visit.
That sounds super fun. You just need a Shiwi.
I do need a Shiwi because I am scared of public bathrooms normally,
Right.
and now more so than ever.
Yeah, especially. When we went to Fresno this past weekend, I packed like 5 pairs of latex gloves and 3 masks. I was like, I'm not going to encounter any germs.
Yes, that, and I'm going to get a Shiwi and also probably some like maxi pads just in case I don't make it in time.
I feel like that's a good plan. You don't want to be without backup.
No, you need backup on a long road trip. My phone's ringing. It's my grandfather. Hello?
You get Turner Classic Movies, the TCM channel.
I don't think so, but I can probably look it up.
There's a movie coming on shortly, and there's an actor, Victor McLaughlin, okay?
Okay.
And he was an old Irish drunk, and he used to dry out. I think I told you this. He had about 5 acres out there north of Fresno, and my mother was his private duty nurse back in the late 30s.
You did
okay?
mention that, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, this movie's coming on as we speak, so it's going to be called, I think it's The Informer. Hang on. Irish rebels track down a slow-witted countryman who turned a friend in for reward money during the Troubles or something we've been doing, the rebellion. Victor McLaughlin, yep.
Okay, I'll look it up.
1935, and Preston Foster was in this too. He was a big actor back then. So
Cool. I'm still running errands and running about getting ready to pack for the cabin, but I will look up that movie and make sure I.
yeah. I'm just saying, there's somewhat of a family connection there. Whatever it is, I don't know, and I really don't want to know.
What are you still? It's almost midnight there. What are you still doing up?
Man, it's 11:48. Well, I'm drinking a glass of wine. I'm, got a little munchy thing going here and whatever, All right, kiddo. Good talk to you. Night. Love you. Talk to you soon.
Love you too. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a safe trip, okay?
I will. I'll call you when I get home.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. So that was the man himself.
Oh my God, that was like the best thing that my heart has ever heard. He's just so wonderful. I love that.
Yeah, he's a lovely individual.
So perfect. It's so perfect.
His ears must have been burning.
I know, right? May we all be like Annie's grandpa, who gives all the shits and calls about a midnight movie and a memory.